From tragic suicides like Robin Williams to untimely drug overdoses like Philip Seymour Hoffman, celebrity deaths have brought issues like depression and substance abuse into the spotlight. But deaths like these are not just happening on Hollywood. Fox UP's Kelsey Niemostow has more.
Henry DeRoche says his childhood was difficult. He was in and out of foster homes and other child services. At just 16 years old, to help with his depression and to fit in with his friends, he started using drugs and alcohol.
It destroyed my life in so many ways. Ruined my reputation. It just did a lot of damage, and I didn't want to be stuck in that.
Henry says he struggled with his depression and substance abuse for years. During that time, he had 2 daughters and a girlfriend. But even though it should have been happy times for Henry and his family, it wasn't. He continued to use.
They become 21, 25, 30, and they've been using for that long period of time from their early teen years until then. Their brains think that that's normal, and for them to feel normal, they have to continue to use.
Yeager says when someone takes part in an activity that they enjoy, the brain releases a chemical called dopamine, which elicits the feeling of happiness. When someone uses a substance like alcohol or drugs, the brain releases an abnormal amount of dopamine, but when your body gets used to it,
you don't get that same high, and you have to use more and more and more, and that's really where the addiction comes in.
This is what Henry went through during his high point of addiction. He lost his family and almost lost his children in his pursuit to get high. But in 2009, Henry says he made the decision to be clean once and for all.
And I knew that I had to get it together for my kids. I knew I was going to lose them, and that I was at a fork in the road.
Henry says he is now a man of deep faith, and that faith has grown stronger in recent years. He credits God and a few of the substance abuse and counseling programs here in Marquette County for his success.
It's important to understand that, when you're turning away from something, you have to turn towards something. In other words, you're just going to do 360 and end up back where you were. You have to have a new trajectory.
These days, Henry says he is still in recovery, saying he thinks all recovering addicts will always be in recovery since the temptations are always there. He lives in Ishpeming, happily married and now with a 3rd child. Now, Henry has now dedicated his life to helping others recover from addiction. He maintains that God helped him recover and says addiction is a spiritual problem with a spiritual solution. If you or someone you love is struggling with substance abuse, mental illness, or both, please go to our website, uppermichigansource.com. There I've put some links to places that can offer help.